Latke is going first. It is therefore my privilege to begin by introducing Peter Dourmashkin. Peter Dourmashkin is a man of mystery. A man of mystery until this morning. His responses to email requests for biographical information were terse and enigmatic to the point of non-existence. Reputed to be Associate Director of the Experimental Study Group, Dourmashkin is said to be the center of a group of mystics who have attempted by the means of the most rigorous spiritual practice to achieve the vision of Latke seen by the prophet Ezekiel. Quote from the beginning of that book, "The word of the Lord came to Ezekiel, the son of Uzi, in the land of the Chaldeans. I looked, and behold, a whirlwind of considerable angular momentum came out of the A great cloud and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and its color was teal." Dourmashkin's unique revelation that the secret number in the book of Ezekiel is 801, or sometimes 802. Professor Dourmashkin.
So, we'll begin with a little empiricism. Latke's law, which, as everybody knows, is based on experimental evidence with a little twist. But Latke's law starts with the proposition that a major food is associated with a minor holiday. So, of course, Latke's are associated with Hanukkah, but Hanukkah is a major holiday for lots of people because they get presents. Whereas is associated with a major holiday. Now, there might be a little bit of a question about whether this holiday is really a major holiday, but we'll assume it is. So this is empirical law. Mathematicians have tried to prove this, but they've never been successful. Some people have taken this as an axiom, which we'll accept, but this is based on empiricism that's lost in the mists of time. However, how anybody could like a Haman who's a bad guy, just don't know. So how do you like a Hamentashen if it's, some bad guy's pockets? Serious problem. Now, what I'd like to do today is make a proposition that Latkes are fundamentally, our brain food. We'll have to test this proposition. First off, you'll notice that there's a fundamental association between potato and apple. Now, this has been talked about last year, so I think I'll leave that. But the problem with the potato, as many people know, is that it came from Peru. So that means our story has to begin in the middle of the 16th century. Now, there's a little, I'd like to begin, this is empirical, with a little demonstration. Here, we have a beaker of water, and I just happen to have a potato. Will this potato sink or float? Question. Ask the person next to you. Take out your fingers. Okay, so what do you think?
Your next explode.
2 seconds. How many people think it will sink? And how many people think it will float? Okay. Well, there's only one way to check this proposition, which is to put it in. Okay, now, I can't bring a bathtub in here to demonstrate this, but of course, if we could see, what should a Latke do? Sink or float? Here, So we'll test. Now, this led to the first fundamental breakthrough in the science, which was Galileo. I happen to have a photograph here of Galileo. And so there's Galileo, and here's his experiment. He realized in a great moment of insight that a latke and a potato will fall to the ground at the same rate. This was a major step in history of science. And Galileo, of course, when he was doing this experiment, handed his latke to his assistant and said, "Your latke," which was misinterpreted by and attributed to Archimedes. So Kant, meanwhile, was dreaming one night about latkes, and he looked up at the sky and he saw a nebula, and he thought, "Wow, I own the universe. Looks like a latke." In his famous book. Now, latkes have a hidden secret. If you look carefully at the text and examine it very, very carefully, going into somebody's private life, but I say a number of love letters which were recently published, and if you look carefully at these letters, you'll discover that he wasn't writing to his wife or to many other people. He was writing to my liebe Latke. Of course, Einstein is a great expert on Hamentashen and Latke, and he had a very firm opinion on this. I'll end my argument with the irrationality of it all. Here is a latke associated with the wonderful number pi. Beautiful number, irrational. How many digits do we know pi to? Many. Latke, on the other hand, has an extremely ugly irrational number associated with it. Look, root 3. How many digits do you know root 3 to? Well, so, one must have latke. And finally, suppose you were thinking of starting up a company. Maybe you had some kind of device, like a computer. Well, here's a suggestion for a logo. You could perhaps choose this.